20 years, the term computer will be gone. It's maybe neuro or some totally other term or name for these machines or this helper you have then. Today we talk about computer because market, people, everything is used to the word computer. Yes, and if you take a new term, then you lost. But as me as a visionaire, I see that in the future, 10, 20 years, the computer, as we know, the computer is gone. We have already inspired machines. We have machines, they have learned and they help us.
I'm a consumer, and I'm wondering, how will this affect me? How will this benefit me in my everyday life? Can you tell me some real-life examples of what I could expect by using AI1?
Well, coming back to the learning, for example, we have built a solution together with one of our OEM partners, so that's one of our distribution and product partners, which is called ASTIS. ASTIS stands for Automatic Shoe Track Information System. Now, many of the people know the term AFIS. That's this fingerprint system, automatical fingerprint information system. And you know, if you're a tourist and you're traveling to the United States, everybody get the chance to use it because you have to give your fingerprints. Now, the police came to us and said, we have in 62% of the crime scenes overall, we have shoe prints. So, you know, if you have a crime scene, you get parts of a shoe print or a whole shoe print. And we need to match them. We need to compare them like the fingerprints. But there was no system worldwide be able to do that on image recognition. Why? A shoe print on one hand is an image, but it's also a concept. If you show a shoe print to a 3-year-old child, it will probably not even know that this is a shoe print because it haven't been learned on that kind of images. It haven't seen that. It haven't realized that this is a shoe print. But once you tell the kid, then you will learn that one single shoe print. When the police came and they said, okay, we have these shoe prints, they are very bad quality on the crime scene. You have a shoe print coming from a carpet, from a very fuzzy stone surface. So you have a lot of noise in the background, and then you have a little signs. Now, when we look on that, we know exactly, aha, that could be a sample of a pattern. Now, when the technical parser, that's the system who looks in the picture technically to find the pattern, if there is no intelligence, it will not be able to decide between the background and this little something somewhere which forms the pattern of the shoe print. So our digital retina has the capability, like a human eye, to recognize those forms, and together with the AI1 knowledge, which has been trained by the expert previously, it will be able to recognize those little patterns in this very, very fuzzy environment and be able to compare it with samples, the full sample of a shoe imprint, because they do some sample imprints, and also between all the other crime scenes. So you will be able to find out that if in the neighborhood they had broken in and stolen things, that, you know, the same group of people wearing the same shoes have been in 3 different locations. Even if those imprints are not really the same, they are similar but not the same. And that's because the system learned the concept of shoes and not only the comparison of 2 images.
How much time would this technology actually save law enforcement in solving a crime versus what they're currently using?
Well, the police told us that currently, by having no system, no electronic help, it takes them between 2 and 3 weeks to find and sort out those shoe imprints, to find out whether they have a reference or even not. So sometimes they spend 2 weeks to find out that they have nothing. Now with the system, you find it out in 10 minutes. So far, they only search where they remember that they may have shoe imprints because they analog stored. So they have the file system, the rack, and they go there and they look for those images, and then they hang it on the wall, and they compare it. Now that system, since those are digital and in a database now, it will just go in and match it.
People, I think, will be interested in knowing exactly how this technology can positively affect their lives or make positive changes in their lives. So, Manfred, can you give us some examples of what you feel as you look now and down the road of applying this technology in people's lives and how it will make it better?
I give you an example. In medicine, you have professors. They're learning their whole life. They teach students and then they die, and the knowledge die with them. Yeah, and what they find out, it's stored in books and left in the brains of the students, and the students have the same way. They grow old, they learn, write books, then they die. Yeah, so the knowledge or what is collected from all these generations of, you can put all the information you have, which is not distributed in brains of professors and in books, you can put together in one big machine, and this one big machine can take in relation all this information and find totally new clue and find totally new solutions. This is a very powerful tool which can help to make a better, healthier and safer world.
People, I think, are going to be very interested in learning about how this technology can change their lives, their everyday lives. Can you give us some ideas, some real-life examples of how AI1, when introduced into a system, has been effective in changing the lives of consumers and what we can expect here now and in the future?
One very popular example is, you probably know the TV series CSI. CSI Miami and Las Vegas and all those. Now sometimes they find shoe tracks, and then they have these nice colorful systems where they say check it out with everything in our system, and they do some matching, and then they say, oh, we find this address with this person and all that. Well, that's movie, but that's exactly what we're working on. So this is not the reality today. The reality today is a big desk, files, images, photographs, and they take 2 weeks to find the stuff and not in 2 minutes like they do in the movie. But our technology is used to bring that to life, so that in the future, for forensics, they will have a system exactly like you see in the movie right now. You may know the movies CSI, crime scene movies. Sometimes they have some evidence and they go and they have some shoe prints. And we talked about this Estes solution earlier. Now, in that movie you see how they take the footprint and then they match it against everything and databases, and they get a name out and the number plate and everything. Well, that's fiction in the movie, but this is also reality. We already have the technology, and some of the police stations in Europe already use that technology to examine footprints and shoe prints like that, so as you see it in the movie. So AI1 is a technology which enables, in this market segment, that kind of solutions today.
This is all so very exciting. I mean, the future, from what you're saying, the future is here now. We have the ability to solve crimes much, much faster, and crime is obviously just one of the, and forensics is just one of the many different market segments that AI1 can be applied. How would a company, what would be their first step? How would a company go about actually getting their hands on this technology? Who would they call and how would they contact you?
Some of the users or prospects calling us directly. We have our website and everything, and then we will point them to our distribution network. And so we have distribution in the United States, we have distribution in Europe, so, and those are specialists, and they are selling our stuff, but also other machineries and software solutions for the forensic. So it's the big stakeholders in the forensic markets which are selling our solution.
Manfred, is this the type of system that it's difficult to learn, or is it something that it's very intuitive for a user to learn to use? Do they even know that it's operating there?
I think there are two parts where this system affecting the life of people. in the background, like in forensic. The most of people not realize what's going on there. But as